39 days have passed. 38, it'll be 39 when Kamala does her first interview. And of course, it doesn't matter who she picks to do the interview with. Just do an interview with a valid reporter. And I don't understand why she is taking her potential vice president, the vice president candidate Tim Walz, with her to do her interview Thursday afternoon in a setting that isn't live. It's a taped segment, which allows anything that happens to be edited.
Mm-hmm.
So her inability to stand on her two legs and say, this is what I believe in, this is what I want for America, this is the direction I'm heading, it's a sellout. It goes back to what we talked about last week. It is the ultimate catfish scheme. Everything about this smells bad, and we all need to look at it and figure out why that is.
Kind of like the previous 3 years with Joe Biden is they have to hide her because of how incompetent she is. They're afraid that she's going to say something inappropriate. They're afraid she's going to say something that will ultimately destroy her campaign. Kamala's the same way, but it's not mainly like maybe it's not a mental disease, but it's more of low IQ, doesn't know what she's talking about, doesn't know what she's doing. And that's my personal opinion. I think they're just trying to keep her off the stage as much as possible. I'm still shocked that, as of now, they're going to do a debate on September 10th on ABC. Probably the only one, but we'll see.
And I just believe right now what we're looking at is a level of incompetence that I have never seen before. When you tell me the first time you talk about your campaign, you bring somebody else along and you go to a friendly, not only a friendly, but you go to a friendly that's going to allow you to edit and clean up the conversation. To me, that's not an interview. That's a podcast. and I just think it's really unfortunate. But I think a lot of American people, no matter what party they're in, unless you're way over the top and emotional about the situation, they're seeing this in a certain light. So it should be interesting.
Imagine you have this person's resume in your hand. And this person says, you've got all my information. I don't need to come in for a one-on-one personal interview. You can read my bio. How many times is that person getting hired, Don?
Not.
So why would the American people allow this to take place? Is it because she's a woman and she's black/Indian?
I think the American people are burnt out. And I think nobody wants to acknowledge that the American voter on both sides have become burnt out. Donald Trump has not lost any support. I think the Democrats have lost support. And I think this because I'm out in the streets and I'm talking to Democrats a lot. And I see more black people going against the party this cycle than I've ever seen before. And of course, when Trump ran before, there was he's going to get some black men. I see that number overwhelmingly greater. And I just believe that because of the internet, and people have the ability now to do a little more research because of the internet and social media, that what we're seeing is not really what's happening. And this conversation about her surging and getting numbers, you got to talk to people. And I saw a guy the other night that I have disagreed with historically on radio, a black gentleman by the name of Tavis Smiley, and he said he's amazed how many people think that she's going to beat him down in a debate, and that's just not going to happen. And
the more she speaks, she will, and this is why her staff won't let her speak. This is why she was so adamant about dictating how the debate stage was set up, where she needed to be sitting down and having certain parameters. If you're the president of the United States of America, there are no parameters on anything that you may be subjected to deal with. So we need to find out right now if she's capable. She is the first person who did not have anyone vote for her to get to where she is.
I think it's concerning too, to your point, where we need to see how she really will be as a president. The problem is, and I know vice presidents usually aren't in the media as much, but they kept her behind closed doors almost the entire administration. I mean, the whole "where's Kamala" thing for basically almost the last 3 years.
You can look at what she was responsible for, the border. Now she's going to say that we need a wall, we need a fence.
She's saying it now.
Huh?
She just said it.
She's going to say whatever she needs to say, Don, to where it resonates with the people at that moment.
Which I think,
But
ironically,
what does she truly believe, guys? That's what you got to worry about.
well, she mimicked Trump on the no taxing tips. Now she's saying, well, I think we do need a border, sort of. So it seems like you're right. She's a chameleon. She's saying whatever needs to be said in order to get elected, which
I just believe that if I can't quickly identify what side you're on, then you can kiss my ass. I need to know what side you're on, especially in a courtroom, especially in a judicial environment. Who are you with? In the words of that great Negro poet, Bernie Mac, who you with?
I am with RMFC. Tell him, Miller.
I know who that is.
Dance with the devil, walk with the angels. And it's very important, as we just talked about. You won't hear the media tell you that Logan Paul, Jake Paul, who do they support, Don Miller?
You know who they support, of course.
Guess who's not telling you that?
The media's not telling you that.
That's right. Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The person walking in and out of the gas station, Ohio. Who do you have? The waitress, the waiters, the bartenders. They believe it's a joke. They can't resonate with it. It's like, yes, the no tips, all of that. They like that. But the one thing that they don't get is, why can't she speak? It's like the Wizard of Oz. You had a very, very short person behind the curtain that everyone was scared of. But once the curtain came down, the masses knew that they had it. That's where we have to get to. We got to quit worrying about who's behind the curtain and all come together and want what's best for this country. And I'm curious, Gonzo, since I'm on the road, what kind of shirt is Don wearing this evening? 'Cause I can't see it.
he's wearing. Actually, you would appreciate it. It's a nice, plain white button down, very classy. So it's nothing bright.
And it fits me.
You sure it fits you?
It fits me. I'm comfortable.
He waited till you weren't in the studio to wear a regular shirt.
What people got to realize is, when the government does what the government is doing, and what the government did during the China virus, COVID-19, whatever anyone wants to call it, it was detrimental to this country. And a lot of people had the ability to make decisions in different regions of the world and the states that people were living in. And you look at the states that were hurt the worst, Minnesota was one of those states. Our vice presidential candidate is from that state. And you have to follow the reality. People tell you something 100 times and you start believing it. Just because you've heard it 100 times doesn't it mean it's true. But when everyone leaves this episode tonight, there's 3 words that I want everybody to go away with. I want you to go away with powerful, formidable, and peaceful. Everybody have a good night. Dance with the devil, walk with the angels, and love one another.
That's right.